Hello class. In last video we have talked about file, size of file, path of file and type of file. Now in this video we'll talk about a C++ program. Now before talking about a C++ program and file, let me talk what we have learned till now. So till now we have created our C++ program. So let's say this is my program, okay? So this is my C++ program. Okay, now what we used to do with our program, so we have used two devices. One is a keyboard and another is a mouse. Keyboard, mouse and other is monitor. So this is, let's say for example, a keyboard and this is called monitor. I'm not going to identify mouse individually because we are not typing anything through a mouse. Okay, so this is my C++ program. Here is my keyboard and here is my monitor. Now we used to write the cin statement. Okay, and while we are writing cin, we are reading from the value from the keyboard to our variable. Okay, for example, if you remember, we used to write, I cannot write it easily here, I'm sorry. Cin, for example, I want to write variable value cin in x. Okay, so this is how we used to do, like cin x. Or in this case, we are reading a value of x from the keyboard and that value will be stored in our C++ program. Now next what we used to do, we used to write like cout x. Okay, then while we are writing a cout x, it is going to print, I am writing like cout x. So in that case, I am printing the value of x from my program on monitor. Okay, so we were reading a value from the keyboard in our program and we were printing the output on the monitor, and at that time we were using a variable called x, which is part of our C++ program, and we're using a keyboard as well as monitor in our program, right? Okay, now while we are using a keyboard, we are using an input string because we are taking input in our program, and while we are using a monitor, we are using output stream, and that is why we are using like a cout and we are using cin to take input and cout to provide output. Okay, so our program were interacting with a keyboard and monitor. Now we are going to talk about one more device that is called hard disk that we want to include in our program of C++. Now it is not too difficult for us, but it is like easy. Now why we should include hard disk? So sometimes if you are going to enter some data in your program, let's say for example you are going to enter data of 100 students where you are finding average of 100 students score. If you have written the program in C++, while you execute your code, you have to enter data of 100 students or score of 100 students, and your program will give you average, right? So it is okay while you are executing your code first time, but while you are going to try to execute your code second time, you should enter all data again. And it is time consuming and bit boring too. Now how it is possible to like read it once only? So to avoid such problem, we can use hard disk. Hard disk means our hard drive, right? So what we will do, our C++ program will read data from our file or on hard drive. So what we are going to make, we are making one file or hard drive data which will be read in C++ program, and whatever output is generated will be written in the same file in the hard drive. It is possible. Okay, so and that is called a program of file. So how program of file is different in C++? So in a program of file in C++, we are making space on hard drive through our C++ program, and we are writing in the hard drive as well as we are reading from that hard drive. And while we are writing, we are using output stream. Okay, while we are writing on the hard drive, we are using output stream. And while we are reading from the hard drive, we are going to use input stream. Okay, so this is a program of file. How we can write the program, we'll discuss in upcoming video. It is very easy. C++ is providing inbuilt classes and can write it easily. Thank you.